What's up, guys? Today I wanted to revisit the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra here because it is technically the last real Note or the last Note with SD card support, which also makes it very attractive. Now, I want to do this video because I think we got a pretty solid price update on this device here. So it's actually come down in price a lot. I got it for almost close to what was it, like 700 or 750, and that was for a locked version. So now they're going for, and I knew this would happen when the Galaxy S22 Ultra, it just didn't happen immediately. So you can see it was at like 664. That's what these were trending for, like even higher than that, around 700. But now they're trending for $600, and I think that's very, very interesting for this type of device that offers actually a lot. So let's go ahead and get started here. This device, and I want to talk about some of the one essential thing you should know is that this will be getting Android 13. I had made a software update video not too long ago, and yes, this will be getting Android 13 One UI 5. That was a question that I would get a lot. Hopefully Samsung gives this phone an extra year of majorOS updates, but if not, that will be the last one, and then it'll go into its security patch stages. The Note 20 Ultra has, in my opinion, still a really nice design. I still really like the classy design on here. So it is a glass and metal design. Of course, it's IP68 dust and water resistant as well too. And of course, we have our stylus on here. Anybody that's looking for a stylus, a high quality phone, this and the Galaxy Note 10 Plus are great options. If you want something cheaper, you would go with the Note 10 Plus. But this is an awesome option as well for anybody who just wants a stylus for navigating. And yeah, this is just buttery smooth, super accurate for digital artwork or whatever you want to do. So you also have on here big counter camera bump on here as well too, which is fine. The device still feels really good, and it doesn't feel like the bump is making the top part of the phone weigh or makes it feel awkward. It feels actually pretty balanced. So I do want to go ahead and talk about this display because that's also a very important thing with this phone. So the display is still really good on here. So it is a very massive display. Actually, it's very big. It's a 6.9 inch display. So the S22 Ultra, I believe, is 6.8. This is actually pretty big. Now, it's, for me, like, if you have smaller hands, yes, it's kind of a phone you kind of have to two-hand. But when you're watching videos and playing games on such a massive display, it is a really nice immersive experience. So it does have the dynamic AMOLED display. It's 120 Hz HDR10 Plus at 1440p. So basically all the icons and everything, everything looks super crispy clear on this panel here, and you have such a high PPI of 496. Now, here's the thing with the display on here. So far, you know, until they make an update, this phone can only do the 120 Hz with 1080p resolution, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's kind of like the only thing that's kind of aged negatively about this phone. I wish they would just push that update. So if we do go to the QHD, and I get this question a lot, is there a massive difference between QHD and HD? I don't think so, but it really depends on the person. Like some people, they can't tell the difference. Other people can't, but you can see it's not supported. Yeah, but I personally, if I was going to buy this phone, it looks fine at the standard Full HD, right? It doesn't look bad at all, so I would definitely just put it down. But if you really want to watch videos in 1440p, then of course you turn that on. But the display on here is nice. It is a curved display as well, too, which a lot of people don't like. I don't have an issue with it. I really don't get accidental touches with this phone. And it's a very bright display as well too, which is something that I also really like. I don't really struggle outdoors with this phone. Also, guys, let's talk about the gaming performance on here. I actually just dropped a full gaming test for you guys to check out, and this phone does an excellent job with gaming. So it's got the Snapdragon 865 chip on here, and you also have 12 gigs of RAM on here. So it's a very powerful phone still. And you do get 128 gigs of internal storage on the base model, but this one is 256. You can find a 256, model very easily these days for, the same price around that 600. So do note that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you guys the actual Geekbench scores. If you guys want to see like all the graphics of the most popular games, check that gaming test out. But here's the Antutu scores if you want to go ahead and compare it. It's still a very powerful phone as far as navigation. This chip really doesn't really overheat for me. This is actually one of the cooler phones that I've gamed on. And yeah, so the scores with Android 12, you know, it just runs phenomenally. So I really do like that. As far as One UI 4.1, you have all your bells and whistles, and honestly, you know, I would not get rid of this phone because it's getting One UI 5 when it comes out. But Samsung desktop support is on here, your Dolby Atmos. This phone also has reverse wireless power sharing on here as well too. It essentially has everything that the new S22 Ultra has, so you're actually not really missing out on anything as far as the software experience goes. So I definitely wouldn't worry about that. Secure folders, essentially everything is going to be on here. Now the speakers and also the vibration motor on this phone is also very good. It's a very strong vibration motor, and I actually really like the speakers on here. I think they sound much better than the S22 Ultra. I'm gonna go ahead and put it closer to the mic so you guys can hear it better. Covering the top speaker. So you get some pretty good speaker quality out of this phone. So even if you cover the bottom one, it's still giving you really good sound out of the top one as well too. Which is something that I really like. As far as your additional features, of course this phone has NFC, it's got wireless charging on here, like I said, the reverse wireless charging, Samsung DeX, all of that. And they actually did an update to the fingerprint scanner not too long ago, which there was nothing really wrong with it, you know, in the first place. It's extremely fast. It's one of those tap fingerprint sensors on here, but apparently they're like still updating it, making it faster, I guess. So it is very fast. It never misses for me. You also have the ability to do face unlock on this phone if you desire to. So this phone is just really packed with a lot of stuff. Now, what is most important with this device is I think the cameras are still very modern considering the specs on it. So of course it's not going to be as good as like maybe the S22 Ultra as far as the zoom shots, but I'm saying for your standard shots and videos, you will be pretty impressed with this phone. The specs are still kind of crazy on here. So it's a 108 megapixel lens, it's 12 megapixel periscope telephoto, and then you also have 5x optical zoom with a 50-time hybrid zoom, and then you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide on here as well too. And then you also have 8K video at 24 frames, along with a 10 megapixel selfie cam that also shoots in 4K 60. So you get some pretty great shots on here, still very high quality flagship level cameras, and the 50 time zoom is also pretty good on here too as well. So this takes really good zoom shots, better than your average phone. Everything looks super solid on here as far as dynamic range. The 108 megapixel, if you turn that mode on, tons of detail, especially if you blow it up on a computer monitor, you can really appreciate those shots. The nighttime photos are pretty good on here. The video is pretty solid on here. Portrait shots are very clean on here. It's just a great camera. So if you're looking for like a flagship quality camera, you don't want to spend $1,000. You still want the high spec numbers. This is definitely a great option. Has not aged at all to me. So lastly, let's go ahead and talk about battery life. Is the battery life good on the Note 20 Ultra? And the answer is yes. Any phone for me that gets over 6 hours of screen on time, that's what we consider technically all day battery life, and this phone easily gets over 6 hours of screen on time. I actually did a battery drain test. I'll try to do one again with this Android 12, but I don't think it's still draining about the same. So this phone can easily get up to 7 hours of screen on time, especially if you're a light user. So this is a phone that, if you have it charged, you leave the house, you don't have to worry about it dying on you. I've never had this phone die on me in a day, so I really do think the battery life is very solid on this device. So that is pretty much it Excuse me. So basically, it's just a great phone, and if you want something that a Galaxy Note phone that is going to get you great cameras, SD card support, which is very important for a lot of people, so you have, you can maximize your storage on here. Great build quality, great screen, and all for under $1,000 is still a pretty good bargain to me. So what do you guys think? You guys think this is a good bargain, or should you skip this and just get your S22 Ultra, trade this in? Do you guys think this is worth keeping? Do you guys think this is worth buying still? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.